couple. In addition to any goals set around the drug itself, general goals are you want to help the relationship function better and both partners to develop some satisfaction. So that's probably going to involve mixing the drinking. The goal is abstinence. Allows the partner to clear up their head. I'm pretty sure that in many cases the non-using partner would really prefer that the other one stop using altogether. It's kind of like if I were punching you in the arm, do you want me to stop or just slow down? What do you prefer? Well, if you're of a mind to look at the use of a substance as a cheating venture, you might prefer that they stop altogether. Community sober support may be recommended. I recommend it every time. That's my preference. The community of the marriage or coupling relationship usually is not powerful in and of itself, powerful enough in and of itself to tackle the long-term addiction. Many times that support needs to come from the outside. So when it is time to be able to do some other things besides tackling the addiction, here are some of the skills that an ABCT therapist can work on. And these are the things that really begin to engage the non-addicted partner. I'll pass out one more thing. A lot of clinicians really despise the term contract because it sounds like something mafia does. Takes out a contract on you. You don't have to call it a contract, you can call it whatever you want. But at some point in treatment, I introduced this to my clients as an experiment in sobriety to radically change some things that maybe will create a circumstance under which they can stay sober for the longest time. And some of these will make sense. What are the places that you need to avoid altogether? Who are the people, places, and things that you need to put some very circumspect distance between? Identify them. Don't leave it vague. Identify them. Probably the more surprising thing on that list that my clients have trouble with is, I believe it's the fourth one, where I asked them, how are you going to make non-addicted friends? You've been traveling for so long and your lifestyle is so enmeshed with the using world, using friends. Sobriety is more than merely not using. It's socializing in a totally different way, finding enrichment from people. You can find enrichment from others who are in sobriety and in recovery. Why don't you try something really weird? Get around people who've never used. I've had one client ever really apply that, and the response to the rest of the group was, they are weird. They feel totally out of place. They can't imagine somebody that has never craved cocaine, never woken up in the middle of the night with sweats for alcohol. I had another client say, I don't hang out with people who've never used. They're not like me. Oh man, that's the wrong attitude. You need to find out how they live without using. You will probably pick up some pointers. So that's something that I encourage clients to do. All right, process of using treatment. There's 12 sessions that are manualized, but obviously if you're going for 20, that gives you the freedom to bring in some tools and techniques to address some of those other issues. So this is actually right out of the book, which is why I put the reference at the bottom there so I don't get arrested. So the stuff you work on, if you were the identified patient, a lot of those things have to do with controlling your drinking and then learning a new way to approach life. It took me a second to figure out what SO was. The suicidal other, significant other, yeah. But when I first looked at it, I was like, SO. Someone on the other side of the addiction coin has to develop some skill too, some support skills. Usually by the time they come to you, they're probably going to be so sick of that other person that their message might be, fix him, and then I'll take him back. I want him like he was before I started doing all this crap. So they actually need to learn an approach of support and coping to not only keep themselves safe and stable, but to be able to be a support to whatever journey the other person's taking in sobriety. And then you can also begin working on some stuff together with the couple. Once the using is under control and the emotional hot buttons are dealt with, I can get into this. If you're interested in doing this, there are a couple of books that are on Amazon. It is not called ABCT, it's called Overcoming Alcohol Problems, and those are the same authors that are in our book. And then there's also a workbook for working with clients. And as with any manualized process, you feel like a clunky novice the very first time you use it, and then the more you use it, the more used to it you get, the more familiar you get, the more comfortable you get. So consider using it if this becomes your field. Applicability, they say it works well with people who have a stable couple relationship. If you have something that is really impairing it, like IPV or a severe psychotic disorder or a mental health issue that is destabilizing the relationship, that probably should be dealt with first. There's an education piece to it. They found that folks that have been through high school tend to do a little bit better. Contraindicators, inability to maintain abstinence, severe psychiatric issues, IPV. Yeah, whoa. Smartest people are those who ask questions. Thoughts, comments, criticisms, lingering questions still.
Like that, I think it was the medical model thinks that full abstinence is the way to recover.
Yeah.
I believe. So is it full abstinence from that substance? Because I feel like a lot of people replace their addictions with another vice. Like,
yeah. See me
and
bouncing
it
up
doesn't
and
always
down.
have to be
You're
a
going in a good
substance.
direction.
Like
Yeah.
as some people have commented on, it's gambling, it's sex, it's just the stimulation of something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a term for that. Anybody know what the term is when you pretty much get off of one, but you find you love another? Cross addiction. I'm going to like cross training. I'm going to cross over from this. I no longer snort cocaine, but I am in line for scratch-off tickets every damn morning. It's crossed over. It's the same part of the brain, getting the bang for the buck, but they found another way to stimulate it. A big part of recovery is finding more meaningful and healthy ways to reward the brain. The worst way to try to do recovery is, I'm going to starve the brain. I'm just going to starve it. I'm going to stop every form of pleasure because pleasure is bad. No, you're built for pleasure. You just have been using some very ineffective ways to achieve it. Find new pleasure in people. New pleasure in different places, new pleasure in different things. Feed that pleasure. Like the Little Shop of Horrors, remember the planet? Feed me, feed me. That was the brain saying. Sorry, I like that movie. Rick Moranis, feed me. Other thoughts? All right, thank you. You've been a wonderful class. I really appreciate it.